where are you at? can't see anything on the screen. You've got the oxygen thing up. It's got to go.
We are live.
Hello and welcome to Celebrity Psychics, where we join you live on our lounge with guest psychics every week, every Thursday night from 9 p.m. I'm Annie Labrie and I'm going to be your host tonight and every Thursday night. Some of you may know me. I do a lot of spiritual work myself and I'm a psychic medium, and I have been in the industry for a long time. While you're here joining us, it's great with this beautiful modern technology. You can join us anywhere, anytime, live streaming on celebritypsychics.com.au. Wherever you may be, you might be on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer, on your smart TV, but you get to join us, and thank you for joining us tonight. We're here live and we can take messages, text messages, just on our 1900 number, which is 19700 700. Just text in with your date of birth, and the code word for tonight is TV if you want it read out live tonight with one of our celebrity psychics. Tonight we have Makita joining us on the lounge. Hello, Makita.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, darling.
That's
and you're a
great.
psychic medium and shamanic healer.
Yeah, that's right. So I've been doing this for over 10 years now. It's been a long time. A gift that came naturally to me, but also very much mastered, you know. As you would know, as being a psychic, you definitely have to fine-tune your gift, and you always have to keep working at it. So even though it is natural for me, it is something that I've definitely worked on.
Yeah, and we all work differently and uniquely, and the importance about being a psychic is everyone has got a different gift, haven't we?
100%.
Yeah, and here on Celebrity Psychics, we've actually got something very special, a really unique phone number in a way that you can get through to us psychics. And we've got a 1300 number, which it means that you can actually call it direct, 1300 755 468. If you call this number, it will get you through to a person which is like a consultant, which will direct you to the correct psychic for you. In regards to, sometimes you might resonate with a different psychic, don't you, Makita?
Yeah, definitely.
And you might want someone that does more the shamanic healing or more just a psychic tarot reading, whatever it is on your journey in life. So that special feature is just really wonderful, and I'm so pleased that we have that now for you. We have psychics ready to take your phone calls even tonight as we speak on that 1300 number. That will use a credit card. If by chance you don't have a credit card and can't get through with that, you can do a pay by phone bill, which is a 1902 number, which you'll see on our screens as well. But kicking off tonight, if we do have any text to come through and you'd like Makita or myself even to do a reading tonight, I can do that for you.
So looks like we might have a question. Is that
Okay, yes we do. We have a text. Would you like to do a reading tonight, Makita?
Yeah, sure.
We've got Janie. I hope I'm saying that right, Janie. Her birthday is the 1st of the 9th, 96. And her question for tonight is, will my ex and I get back together? It's always a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is, and you know, there's so many different factors when we're talking about exes and we're talking about choices that everybody has to make. You know, at times as well, it's, you know, whether that person's ready to be in a relationship and the blocks that might be coming up around in their energetic field around that. So I'm just doing your numbers, Janie, at the moment, and we'll just have a look for you. Thank you, Spirit. When I say thank you, Spirit, I'm actually clairaudient, so I'm actually talking to my spirit guide, my great-grandmother, who is of a shamanic background, and that's why I'm also a shamanic healer. But look, I'm just tuning into your energy at the moment, Janie, and it seems to me that there is definitely, thank you, Spirit, a soul connection between you and your ex. Okay, when I say soul connection, that means that there may have been like a past life, or you're part of the same soul family. It doesn't necessarily always mean that you will be in a relationship together, but it does mean that there are definite lessons and thank you, Spirit, they're talking about gifts that you will receive in this relationship. If I had to say, will you get back together at this particular stage, I'm going to say yes, because I do feel that the energy is really strong between you, and I don't feel that the lesson is over. And so even though you may be separated at the moment, I feel like there's nothing that you can necessarily do about it. Like, I don't feel like there's a kind of energy for you to kind of contact him or call him or anything like that. It feels like to me you just need to sit with that and let him kind of come to you and let it play out how it needs to. And I feel like if you do that, you will actually get back together. Thanks, Janie.
It's always a hard one, isn't it? Because love hurts, and wherever we are in our journey in life, I think that's where reading can really come into it. And you know, we take readings really responsibly. I've been in this field for 30 years and you've been in for nearly as long as well.
Yeah.
And we always just have to say, what comes through with spirit and what you do with it is really up to you. But I'm just so glad that we've got a platform like this where we can have a beautiful discussion. We can get to know our readers, and each week we're going to have somebody different coming on board, and you can join us again.
Yeah, sure.
And if you want a reading by Miketa or myself during the week, if you go to our website or our Facebook, and if you go to the website especially, we do have our bios online, and you can read up on all the psychics, read their biographies, read what we do, and on that 1300 number, 1300 755 468, you can actually book in. So Miketa and I will give a time during the week. I think I'm going to be available on a Wednesday, and you can actually book us in advance. So here on the lounge, we get to understand a little bit more about how we work. Each week we're going to have a different reader. I think we're going to have somebody else come online later on to have a chat to, because it's an important date today. It's the 16th of the 6th.
Yeah.
16. And I think Darren's going to come on and talk to us a little bit more about in depth of that, and that's letting go of the soul, that's starting new, starting fresh, and what a beautiful night to start a new show. It's just amazing. So we're here taking text readings tonight. If you want to do that, just remember to SMS your name, your date of birth, and the code word TV, which means that we can read it out for you tonight. Oh, we've got another one. This is from Deborah. Hello, Deborah. And hello to everybody in Australia, and for WA, my beautiful viewers over there as well. Now, Deborah's got a question. I think we'll give that to you, Miketa.
Yep.
28th of the 11th, 62. And her question is, can you see when I will be able to sell this property and buy a new one?
So I'm just doing your numbers for you here, Deborah. Just bear with me.
So when we work on numerology, we're working out the numbers, the lines, and everything above it. I don't know as much about numerology as Miketa, so what do you get for her with her house?
Yeah, sure. So look, Deborah, I do feel like there is something, thank you, Spirit. I'm feeling that at the moment there is a bit of red tape around you and around the house. It's almost like things haven't been finalized yet, whether it's not fully in your name, or it feels like I'm signing contracts to say, yes, I can sell this property. And it feels like to me you're getting that together at the moment. But what I want to say to you is that Spirit is telling me very, very clearly that it's not long before the property sells. And so it's almost like you just have to get your ducks lined up. You just have to do the right thing in the right way and get those processes lined up, and then the energy will open up for you to move and shift this particular property. It feels like to me there may need to be a bit of a clearing at the space as well that will energetically help you shift that and go to the next stage of your life, because that's what it feels like. Closing the door, thank you, Spirit. They're saying closing the door on this property is not just about the property itself, but it's actually very representational and very close to your heart about moving into the next stage of your life. And sometimes when there is that next stage that we're moving to, it can be very fearful or difficult, because it is the unknown. And so therefore that means that there's a bit of healing for you that needs to happen, as well as selling the property and the red tape and the physical stuff. There's some emotional healing that needs to take place, and when that happens, then things will just happen very smoothly for you. But what Spirit is saying is take some time out for yourself, do some nurturing, just sit in and kind of close the doors to the past, and really, be very thankful and grateful for how far you have been and come, and then that's some of the healing will just take place naturally and will help you to move forward.
And that's beautiful, because what you're saying is you're not giving her a date, because that hasn't come through. So we trust Spirit with that. And it's saying that when you're ready and when you let go, then things just happen when they're meant to happen. And it's really frustrating sometimes because you want it to happen. But from what you were reading there, and I wasn't tuning in, I let you totally do the reading. That's what's different when we're psychic on this show. I just let her hold her peace with her spirit. It's just really lovely just to get those answers through in a way that makes it clarified what you already know. And that's really what a reading should be about.
Look, and I think it is very, it's very personal to different readers and how they've been trained and what comes naturally for them. But because of my shamanic healing background, one of the things that I truly believe in is that everybody has choice in their future. And the choice to say, I want this to happen quickly, so I'm going to say yes to these opportunities, or I'm not ready.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to hold back and incubate for a little bit and let the energy mull over, and then when I heal that, then I'll be ready to move forward.
But sometimes when we hear that from a reader, instead
Yeah.
of them just saying anything, it's
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, I don't tell them what they really need to hear sometimes either, but I just
Yeah.
tell them what comes through because it sits true to their heart, and what you did was really beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for that reading,
Yeah,
Claire.
thank
that was
you.
really lovely. Michaela, when did you realise when you first had your gift? Like, it comes different for all of us, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, I had a dream when I was 8 years old that was around trauma. And it was basically that I dreamt my sister was going to pass
They can
away.
be very scary, can't they?
And yeah, the next day she did.
Mhm.
And so that, having to heal that and overcome that tragedy, to be able to speak freely and trust spirit, knowing that it's not always going to be a tragedy.
And not even just trusting spirit.
Yeah.
Who do you tell as a child when
Exactly.
you've got this? I think I got told I had an overactive imagination. I'm like, well, okay, now I do that for a living.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that. It does start
Yeah.
when you're little, and you may
Yeah.
not know what it is.
Exactly.
Unless you've got that freedom of
Yeah.
having parents that are already involved in it, or
Exactly.
psychic themselves, or
Exactly.
understand that, don't they?
And especially with, having to be able to observe a lot of things around you can mean that you have split attention, and so, it's very hard to put psychic into a box as a
It is.
child.
It is,
You
and
know?
like I said, unless you're around it, and even when you
Yeah.
are, there's a lot of hype around it. And this is why I teach tarot and teach psychic
Yeah.
development,
Yeah.
because it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And the way that it all works is different for all of us, but as long as we're responsible with it, and that's what we bring here tonight,
Yeah.
is the readers that have been in the industry for a very long time, that know what we're giving
Yeah.
is coming from truth, and we're here to help you on your journey of life. And that's what a reading's all about. And it's wonderful when they come and they go, how did you know that? I'm just doing that today. I've just put the house on the market. How did you know? I'm like, well, that's around your essence. And if
Exactly.
I'm getting that, if I'm getting something from right now, or from your immediate past, or even a long time away, it means that, okay, you must be on the right journey, okay?
Exactly.
And that makes so much more peace than just talking always about the future, which some people think we're fortune tellers.
Oh,
And yes,
yeah.
we can see down that timeline all differently. There's healing involved, there's so
Yeah.
much, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
So if you do want Makita or myself to do a reading tonight, you're welcome to text us in again at 1900 700 700 anytime. Remember, credit card readings 1300 755 468, and you can speak to a consultant, which will put you through to the right psychic. We're here 24/7, read our bios, get to know our psychics, and as the weeks go on, we'll be bringing a new psychic on to chat with, which is just beautiful. And it's
Yeah.
nice and relaxed on the lounge.
Oh, it's so
We'll be
good.
doing, if I have to pull out the cards, I'm going to have to use this area like we do at home, and then onto the table. It's beautiful. Makita, we ready for another
Yeah,
reading?
sure.
Thank you everybody for texting in. Lovely to hear from you, and I'm so glad you're joining us live here on Celebrity Psychics. We've got one from Simone. Hello, Simone. Birth date is the 12th of the 9th, 79. And she said, can I have a general reading, please, for the next 3 months?
Okay. Thanks, Simone. Just going through, I almost want to say Simone. I don't know if that's how
Simone
you
or
pronounce it.
Simone?
Yeah, it's just
Whatever
coming
you
through.
feel.
It's
Hopefully
coming
it's
through.
right, Simone.
There we
Just
go.
working the numbers and just connecting.
So while I'm doing that, I might just tell you what I'm doing.
For
Because
sure.
I'm not, like, I
Just
have been
explain.
trained definitely in numerology and know, all what that means and stuff. But for me, I'm a psychic medium, and as you can tell, I'm not using cards, and so I use my intuitive, gifts of clairvoyance and clairaudience to tune in. But what the numbers actually do for me, for those that go, Makita, you're not explaining the numerology, you're just doing the reading, is that it opens a kind of portal that helps me to connect to your energy. And some psychics will do that with names, some will do it with date of birth, some people will do it with cards, but for me it is definitely the energetic uniqueness of your name and your number that helps me to get in there and figure out what's happening around your essence. And so Simone, in the next 3 months for you, you know what, it feels like to me like I've kind of been dredging through the mud, and I've reached a plateau in my life, and I'm kind of just going through the motions of this is what it is. And so I'm kind of looking for these opportunities. And so what I want to say to you, Simone, is that you haven't not been doing any work. Even though it feels like you've been plateauing out and things aren't changing, it feels like to me definitely at the back of you there's this energy building up, and it's the energy of your manifestation. It feels like to me that you are a very spiritual person, whether you know it or not. Actually, that's what your numbers say. And it feels like to me that you have been asking, speaking to spirit, manifesting, saying, please, can I, this and that, and, being grateful and doing all the right things. And now you're kind of waiting, going, okay, well, where is the blessings? Come on, spirit, I'm on the clock. Where are the blessings? And so I want to let you know that if you haven't opened that door, they are here and they are ready. And so all you need to do is accept them into your life. Simone, it feels like to me you're having to be very, very aware at the moment, and you're having to be noticing the blessings that are coming your way. It feels to me, like I said, it's all around, thank you, Spirit. There are different like elements of our lives that we can go into when we do readings. Spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, home environments. Simone, this feels like it's everywhere, okay? And so it's about really noticing these things that you've asked Spirit, because you know what, for me, I know personally, if I go, Spirit, can I please have a piece of cake, and then a piece of cake lands in front of me and I ignore it, then they're not getting trouble. And so I'm wanting to bring it to your awareness that Spirit are blessing you right now. It feels like to me that there might be an opportunity, thank you, Spirit, coming to you in work. Definitely, it feels like it's coming very strongly. It's almost in front of you, so be aware of that. It feels like to me it's all around money and promotion and something that you've been asking for. It feels like it's a little bit left of field, and that's why you need to be aware around it. Okay, they want to just quickly thank you, Spirit, skip to your relationship life at the moment, which I'm feeling like is winding up. There's some things like coming out of your energetic field that you're kind of shifting out some healing, and that is going to bring in somebody, it's either somebody new, because I'm seeing a baby now, but I'm also feeling like it's somebody new or a new element, like your relationship's moving to a next stage of your life. And so all I want to say to you, Simone, is that great things are happening right now, opening up to spiritual blessings. I'd like you to keep like a gratitude journal, or saying thank you to Spirit when these things happen, so that you so that they know that you're recognizing them, so that you know that you're saying blessed, and that way you kind of start, to me, I want to say vortex, but it's just like start the process of manifestation by having that abundance, saying thank you, being grateful, and then manifesting again, and off you go, and it'll just open the door for more and more, especially towards the end of the year. All right, thanks, Simone.
Well, that was a bit more than 3
Yeah,
months.
I know.
You're going to be very busy,
Yeah,
Simone.
yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you do a general, because
Yeah.
it brings in all those aspects, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And it's the same when you connect in with whatever you're connecting with. You ask
Yeah.
for a general, it does
yeah.
bring in, it will bring in your relationships, your career, which you brought in, and everything for
Yeah,
Simone, and you
yeah.
then took it that little bit more for 3 months. So Simone,
Yeah.
you got a very beautiful reading as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending that through, and you can connect to us through Facebook as well. Oh, big shout out to Steve on Facebook. Hello, and welcome to everybody on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Anything positive you want to bring to the party, bring it through. Say hello to us and follow us on Facebook all the time. And how could we see more of you, Nikita? Like, you work in here with us in Celebrity Psychic. You're going to be on the 1300 number to be booking you
That's
on
right,
the phones.
definitely. So I've got my own Facebook page, which I'd love you all to follow.
You can connect to any of us on Facebook
Yeah,
through
Facebook
Celebrity
is
Psychics.
perfect. And I'm also running my own space it's called Soulfire Collective, with a bunch of other people in Newtown, and that's the main page where all the events come up. I do spirit walks in the National Forest, and
Heavenly.
yeah, so awesome. That's like when I lie on the beach at the end going, is this really my job, connecting people to nature? Amazing.
It's beautiful, isn't it? I take my
Yeah.
friends and my family out for meditations, and whether it's at the beach or into the mountains and by the waterfalls, and just connecting with the earth and the energy to do those healings. And people underestimate the power of our beautiful planet. And I know people are scared about the planet at times, and the world and how it is. But inner peace is very important, and
100%.
it's where everything starts.
Yeah, and you'll be very surprised just by going out into nature how much reflection of yourself you'll be able to see.
It will naturally heal and bring to you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a meditation in itself.
You
People
don't
forget
have to
you
do anything.
Exactly, and just absorb, and that's your
Yeah.
and meditation to
Yeah.
me, and the way I teach meditation is to clear one's mind.
Yeah.
So you can see calmness, like a rapid water, and then all of a sudden it's calm. You can see below, you can see above, and that's our subconscious. And that's what meditation to me is all about. Then you can begin. So just to forget everything is really important.
And I was just going to say, and as well as and you might have found this as well, but people forget that developing their psychic abilities, the first step is that quietening of the mind, is that meditation.
Just being at one with listening.
Yeah, and so I say to a lot of people who I see, you know, when they go through spiritual emergence, I find that they have been doing meditation a lot, and then all of a sudden
It
they
opens it
start to open.
And that was the
And they-
vortex you were talking about.
Yeah.
Once you start, and when you know, and you know, look at mothers, look at our beautiful mother's intuition. We know, we feel things.
Yeah.
We know with our loved ones if something isn't right, and that can be your very first step
Yeah.
into what we believe is psychic ability or what we
Yeah.
call it. And everyone has a different opinion.
Yeah.
But anyone that's been in the field long enough knows that it's a natural gift that just develops, and we get stronger over the years, and we bring more things
Yeah.
into it
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's just. Everybody is working differently, and that is really beautiful, and whatever works, as long as it brings you peace
Yeah.
of mind on that
Yeah.
journey, and can give you some clarity. I do a lot with passed over, you know, loved ones and stuff, and that will come through, and it's just so lovely to hear. I had a funny situation the other day, you know, and I was laughing at it. You know, this man on the other side was talking about letterboxes. It means nothing to us, but it always means something to that person, and just for them to know that that energy is still around and that confirmation is just beautiful. Okay. At the end of the day, we've got readers on that is going to help you with that, make you feel a little bit more comfortable, okay? So joining us here is a really great way to get to know, just as we're talking now, a little bit more about what a psychic can do, what they can offer, how we can connect, how can it work for you, how can it bring you peace, okay? It was an important thing for me when I started using my gift as well. And eventually what happens is you start dealing with this in such a way that it takes over your life, and you become more popular that you have to give up your other jobs and your other careers, which I've got 2 other big careers that I work in all the time. But people say to me, why don't you get a real job? I don't think there's anything more real than giving someone beautiful peace of mind.
Annie, do you know how many times I've tried to get a real job?
I know.
Spirit
It's-
won't let me.
No, it's just the way it goes. And it's
Yeah.
like, but I feel very honoured that I
Yeah.
have a gift, and I
Yeah.
can utilise it, and I can help others develop their gift. Do you find that?
Look, you know, nothing gives me more joy than either working with kids who like are naturally open and helping them to get meaning to that, or with people who are just spiritually emerging and needing to feel good. That's where your heart is. That's where you feel most alive. Your energy within your relationship, and like always down, where is your Mr. Right? And so what I'm seeing is that what happens is that you meet someone, you go, wow, and then you kind of sit there and you feel into all the stuff that's going to make me go on this path. It feels like an early 20s where you anymore. I'm not going to love anymore, because every time I love, I get hurt. And so you might find, thank you Spirit, that look, you know, I'm going to put my hand up and say I've totally done this, so it's not just feel it. A door on your trust and a door on your love. And so in a shamanic terms, like Annie spoke earlier that I'm a shamanic healer, is what we do a process called a soul retrieval, where you can enjoy the courting and enjoy the moment and enjoy the presence. But because Sharon, I'm telling you right now, you've had about 3 Mr. Rights come your way that you've rejected within the last 2 years, I'm hearing from Spirit. And you've just not been able to, you know, it's almost like your insecurities or the things that, you know, the nitty gritty, the stuff that happened back there is getting the better of you. And so it's made you feel insecure and act in certain ways. The word that I'm hearing from Spirit is overzealous. So it might be like, you know, texting or saying, I need to see you right now, or blah, blah, or he didn't text me back, so that means that he doesn't like me, so bar him. You see what I mean? But the key for you is, Sharon, is staying in the present, because, as I said, Spirit sent about 3 Mr. Rights, and there is somebody else coming down the path, but it's up to you to do that healing around the past so that you can recognize that this is the person for you and not let them pass you by. I hope that helps.
Yeah, and you know, it's men as well that do that. We block it
Yeah.
off because we've been hurt before. But you know,
It's a human
you
condition.
know, after hearing what you said, and she's a 9, we're very passionate as well. But at the end of the day, you know, Makeda said, you will find someone else, and we always do. And as long as we
100%.
learn from those lessons, that's
Yeah.
really beautiful. We all give, and we're going to give again because we're beautiful people, and that's really beautiful, as long as we don't take advantage of each other as well.
Exactly.
So if anybody else does need any texts answered tonight, we are here to take your texts as well, and even I can do a little bit of a reading. I do connect with tarot cards, and I connect with the crystals as well. There's a lot of history in the tarot cards. I've actually designed my own deck and written my own deck, and that's coming out soon as well. And I use spirit with the cards, and quite often I'll use spirit first and the cards more just for you, which is how it happens. But I love the way that they work. When you know them really well, they have a lot of history around and a lot of background in each and every card, and it's just amazing how they do actually work. And even if you're not psychic and you've learnt the cards well enough, you'll get a really good reading if you've been taught properly as well. So we are here to take your texts if they come through, which is really exciting. And I've never hosted and read at the same time, but this is going to work really beautifully because I'm glad I can do a little bit of both tonight, which is lovely.
And it's so good, Annie. Like, you know, with the tarot, I think people underestimate definitely like the value and where it comes from. You know, especially the major arcana. You know, being the hero's journey and being the pattern of our.
It's the journey of life.
Yeah.
We've always worshipped the sun, the moon, the gods.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of that, but you know, without a psychic intuition, and your interpretation is where the tarot can go wrong.
Yeah.
The card itself is a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
It evokes a picture, just like an oracle. It's an oracle. It's got symbolism. It's got all the four suits. It's got everything going on. There's a lot more to learn.
Speak to this person's higher self, not their egoic self, and say, you have something in mind. You've got my love. You got my.
But it's the responsibility of that reader, I find, to get that interpretation. It's so varied because there are so many different meanings, and the same cards can do the same thing. You can pull up the same card for the next person, but yet it will mean something completely different, and that's when the psychic ability and the importance of that deliverance comes in.
You know, and that's exactly 100% what happened to me when I first started my journey, like all over those, like professionally reading for people.
You can ask us anything that you need to know, okay? I have all beautiful. Also get hold of him on the 1300 number. Go to our celebritypsychicsline.com.au on our website, and you can see him on. He'll be logged on there, so you can see if he's available or not, and you might be able to get through to him right now as well. Darren's a beautiful reader. We've had him with us for a long time. I've known him from different things. I've met you at some beautiful fairs. So I know a lot of our psychics personally that are coming onto the show with us, which is really beautiful because we're all reputable in our field. We all work in different shops. I'm a New Moon in Castle Hill. Been there for 15, 16 years. You know, we've been around for quite a long time that people have known us. You can follow us on Facebook, and now here on Celebrity Psychics, which is just beautiful.
Great,
And I'm just happy to be able to bring you guys on board, which is really beautiful, so we can help everybody else on their journey as we go through.
Definitely, you know, and it's so needed. There's so many people that just need to ask that one question or ask, you know, just that little thing. Like, I've been getting this intuitive hit, like, you know, I don't want to go out for an hour reading, but I just want to, you know, ask that one question, and now you can do that.
And that's what the SMS is all about. You can just do one text, and that's really great. I have some people ring me up and they can't get through to me. Like, they say, Annie, I need you, can you book me in? And I can't see them, I'm busy, they can't get onto me in the shops where I'm working. And then 3 days later they'll call me and go, oh, it's okay, I sorted it out. And I'm saying, trust that. If you don't get in with somebody straight away, it's not meant to be. There's sometimes we have to just wait, and those things will sort out for us, don't they? Just be a bit more patient and work it out for yourselves. I don't think we can tell them exactly what to do, but we can give you the advice of what's happening again, okay? So yeah, we're here to take those texts for you tonight and every night, and also down on our phone numbers as well, which are showing up on the screen, okay? And we're going to have Darren join us live on the telephone from somewhere at home. Is he coming on for us? Hello, Annie. Hello, Darren. So this is our lovely Darren, who's our other psychic. Lovely to meet you on the phone, and I hope everybody at home and live streaming can hear you.
I'm watching you and Makeda on the screen, full screen on my computer, live streaming. Doing extraordinarily well and loving the conversation.
Beautiful. Okay. Darren, can you tell us a little bit about how you work? And, you know, did you notice the number tonight? I think you do a bit of numerology, don't you, Darren?
Oh, look, today it's been an incredible day. It's been an incredible day since I started at about 8 o'clock this morning. Everything's been going at an incredible rate, but those numbers that are in our date, we've got the 3 sixes, which are representative of the magic square of the sun. And the magic square of the sun is one of the tools that is
And isn't it also with the ones involved a new beginning as well? Like it calculates and gets rid of any negative, and we're supposed to move forward on this day. Is that right? And start something new?
Look, the 2 ones are absolutely fantastic. So we've got the 2 ones come together as an 11. And in my teaching of numerology, because I teach numerology at a magical level, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 full circle is how I teach numerology. So here we see the 1 full circle and a new start in that full circle. And here today, we're live streaming. I'm talking to you via a Bluetooth headset, watching you on the screen, and this is a whole new start for a whole new generation of people who are going to be introduced to spiritual wisdom, psychic understanding, and, well, from my perspective, and McKenna's, of course, a shamanic way of viewing the world.
Yeah, and we all do a little bit of that healing, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But how can the viewers get a hold of you if they want to have a reading tonight? Obviously through your PIN number, they can log in through Psychic.
Phone the 1902 number, and then my PIN number is 4855.
So that's 4855 to get through to you, Darren, if you want to have a reading later tonight.
Yep, 4855, the 1902 257 821.
Beautiful.
And I'm logged on while we're on air.
Well, I should get. I think I'll even call you up later for a reading, Darren. We haven't caught up for a long time.
And look, I'm certain I've got photos of us somewhere.
Yes, we always meet around the traps.
Yes, so it has been a while since we've seen each other. And I'm hoping to get into Sydney because now I'm out in Cootamundra. I don't know if you know the area well, but it's the centre of the Riverina. So I've moved away from Sydney and I'm in the Riverina area. And now I'm connecting with a whole group of people who are loving learning something new.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I'm glad that you're out that way, and I'm really glad that with Celebrity Psychics now that people can still contact you via the telephones and all our beautiful modern technology. And I hope to see you here in the studio as well. Darren, for those listening at home, if they can hear you very well, just tell us a little bit more about how you work.
Okay, 16, 17 years ago, I was connected with an indigenous spiritual entity that I've learned to call Flying Eagle. And Flying Eagle sent me on a journey through an oracle that I was given. It's called the Sacred Shaman Oracle. And I worked through, it's interesting, your conversation earlier was about tarot. I've worked through tarot, I've worked through that lineage, but I also connected with the same level of understanding that has traditionally been part of Australian spiritual wisdom for 60,000 years. So in the oracle, what is linking is the Western history. So we've got the runes, we've got tarot, we've got that Western history connected with indigenous spiritual history.
Beautiful.
So I work at that level to heal and in a way cleanse. I do a lot of cleansing for people. So when they communicate with me, it's almost an automatic clearing for them. So any stress, any depression, any anxiety almost disappears automatically. Then it doesn't last forever. They're free for about 7 to 14 days, and then they've got to start working on themselves for that to stay.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
And that's one of the hardest parts for people, isn't it?
It is. They can't rely on us to heal them constantly forever, but at least we can get them on their journey and help clear their past, make them feel comfortable with where they are right now, and to help pressure them forward as well. And we can always be there as backup for them as they go through, can't we?
That's what I do. I give people the guidance of 14 to 28 days. They watch what's occurring, and then if they require more, they come back and get more after 28 days.
Yeah, and I've even had some people where I say, you know what, you've just had a reading, I've taken you through this long and it hasn't been that long yet. Maybe wait that little bit longer until you've gone through that stage and then come back. Or it's different for everybody, isn't it? But you work really beautifully and bringing in that Indigenous connection, and that's what we were talking about earlier, wasn't it, Keita? Just getting in touch with the earth and feeling that energy, whether it comes through Indigenous or through yourself, or just utilising the space of where we're at and the energy of the earth. And that's why I use the crystals too, Darren, because that still comes from the earth, and it's got eons and eons of energy that's been built up through, you know, the planetary system that's coming through on that beautiful stone that we can all resonate with. It's lovely, isn't it?
Well, isn't that's that mother energy that we
exactly.
all sit on, we all like to take a part of. And it's interesting, McKenna and I have spent hours talking about this outside in the dark on numerous occasions about our connection with the earth and our connection with that Indigenous spiritual energy.
Yeah.
And it's part of who we both are, and it's just a natural experience, and it's part of who you are as a healer as well.
It is.
And I chose the word shamanism because it resonates with modern people. But if we go back through history, we see the same level of wisdom and understanding in the Wiccan culture. We see it in the Druids. We see it in the Indigenous people of the island. So through the Pacific Islands and New Zealand, we see those connections as well.
Yeah,
and that for me is what unites us as one tribe on Earth.
It is, and it doesn't really matter, and what we call healing at the end of the day can be something as little as just not putting a bandage on a child, but how you put that bandage on is healing, isn't it? Just giving that love and that connecting and understanding that. And if you top that up with our connection from spirit as well, it's huge, and it just helps people just totally understand you, which is really lovely. It is so lovely to talk to you this way, Darren, and just have the viewers understand what you do and how they can connect with you as well.
Look, one of the good things about what you're doing here, and what all the people behind Celebrity Psychics is doing, is that this is going out to the world on YouTube. It's recorded, even though we're live streaming, that it'll be able to be recorded. And the wisdom that everyone live is going to share to everyone else, for everyone else to watch, is such an incredible thing.
It is.
For us to be a part of, that I think about it and it blows me away. So
we're lucky to utilise the modern technology and put it together with, like you said, age-old wisdom. And you put together, it's just reaching a wider audience and helping in so many different ways, which is just really beautiful. And that's what we're all here for, isn't it, at the end of the day?
At the end of the
To
day.
help everybody on their journeys. And if we become a part of you, and I was talking about how you resonate to a psychic as well earlier on, and that is really sits very true with everybody. They'll find you and resonate with you at the right place at the right time, and you have some really beautiful experiences, don't you?
I think for the people who are starting out on their journey, that's probably one of the hardest things. I know you, myself, your thumbs, but you always know that the connection is exactly right. And I like to teach all my students that when they start, it's not about them trying to attract the people. Spirit will direct the people to them.
Yeah. And they do, and people just, and that's what I was saying earlier, if they don't get into a reading straight away, don't panic. When the right time comes, read the bio, see which one's the right one for you, and I think that's really lovely. So everyone can get on to celebritypsychics.com.au and they can look up beautiful Darren, look up Makita or myself, read our bios. We can't obviously put everything in there, but you'll get to know us more on the lounge as well.
And I think it's really important to speak to your spiritual team. I mean, we've all got however
Within
you want to
ourselves.
believe it, you know.
Exactly.
Our intuition, if you want to talk about angels, if you want to talk about ancestral guides, past loved ones, our higher selves, they're all different terms for this innate ability that we have to make decisions through discernment, through our spirit. And so it's really important, you know, what Darren was saying is, yes, spirit are going to direct you to the right. So have that conversation. I'm looking for some help right now. I need answers with this question. I'm not feeling my own intuition at the moment. Who can best relate this message to me that will resonate with my spirit?
And it happens all the time. I had a lady call me up for a reading at the New Moon store, and she says, Annie, I was just jumping online on Facebook and I was thinking I need a reading. Next thing you know, you just jumped up. She goes, I don't even know how you got on my page. This is the modern technology. And so she rings me up, and I just think, oh, that's just so beautiful, you know. And then she just had this resonating straight away. And I think that's why photos are great to have on your business cards and stuff, because people will see your face, they'll resonate with you or they don't, and they have that sensation of, yeah, I can trust this person with what I'm about to tell them, and we divulge some really in-depth stuff, or what you don't divulge we know, and it comes through anyway, and unfortunately we don't like to bring tears to people, but that happens, but it just touches on the truth. And at the end of the day, that can be healing in itself, just to let some people just in on that previous situation. But I'm so lovely to hear from you, Darren. I don't know how much longer we're allowed to talk to you, but I think it's winding up very soon, love. So remember, if you want to speak to Darren Maxwell, our beautiful psychic and shamanic healer and Indigenous person here, you can contact Darren on our celebritypsychics.com.au. Look up his PIN number, which was 4855, and you'll get straight through to Darren, and hopefully you'll get through to him tonight. And I hope we get to see you on our lounge, nice and relaxed, and have a proper reading here as well for everyone at home. Darren?
Looking forward to it, Annie.
Beautiful.
Looking forward to it.
All right, well, I'll say good night to you, Darren, and I'll let the readers get in touch with you for their reading.
Yeah, please call. Good night, McKenna.
Good night, lovely. Nice talking
night.
to you.
You
Blessings.
again
Yeah.
very shortly.
Yeah,
Blessings
for sure.
and namaste.
Good night, all.
Good night.
And remember, if you wanted to SM us, myself and Makita, for a reading, just remember to text us with the code TV, which means it'll come through tonight as well, okay? And I'm really looking forward to bringing some more people on as the shows progress every Thursday night at 9 p.m, or that's Eastern Standard Time as well, okay, guys? So yeah, that was really lovely talking to Darren.
Yeah.
And like he was saying, with the technology, it's just great to know that you guys can be out there on your phone, wherever you are, sitting on your surfboard or wherever, watching us and having a good old chat. And you know, and I've done that for people as well. I've done readings. They've been wanting a reading right here, right now. I pull out my phone and off I go. I'll do a reading, whether I'm sitting at a coffee shop or wherever, in the car, wherever it needs to be, that I can help you as well, okay?
Yeah.
So remember, Darren can find him on that PIN number that I gave to you, 4855, and his readings will include a lot of healing and a lot of understanding of where you are, where you're going, okay? Interpersonal relationships. So any texting that you want to get through to us tonight for a quick reading, we're open for that as well, okay? So it's the 1900 number, 19700 700. That's actually quite easy, 19700 700. That's pretty easy. It's all the 9s and 7s again,
Yeah,
which
there
I've
you
got in
go.
mine. I love it when people do my numerology. I know a little bit about it, and I know enough, and I put that together with the star signs and stuff when you use it,
I
utilising
love
things.
it. I love it. It's
And it
so
does, you can,
informative.
I find quite often I can usually pick someone's star sign. I've done a lot of research on star signs. I use it in my readings all the time.
Yeah.
And it does vary, but I find I can't pick an Aquarian. I don't know why. It's just me. But I love all you Aquarians out there, but I can't pick it sometimes.
I've dated many Aquarians, so I
You totally get that.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, stay away.
It looks like I've got a little
For
bit
me.
of a reading coming through, and I
Yeah.
think I might do that. Now,
Awesome.
I use the tarot cards and I also use the crystals, and I've got a text reading that's come through. Thank you everybody on Facebook as well for joining us. Remember, you can give us some positive feedback, help us with the show, let us keep going forward, follow us, and keep in touch all the time through our texting and our phones as well. But someone's asked, Chris, hello Chris, has asked me for a 3-month reading. I assume that's just a general, Chris, and your birthday 8th to the 9th 72, so you're still a spring chicken in my eyes. But I'm getting on a little bit as well. Chris, I'm sure you said the next 3 months, and you have got a few little changes going on as well. I was going to use the crystals for you, but I'm just going to hold off for a minute because it's calling the tarots, because you've got a few little things to sort with your work, Chris, and I just want to work on that. So what I'm going to do is just pull out the tarots for you, Chris. And I'm just going to do a really quick one for you because you've got a lot going on, and I said about work, and this is changing your job, okay? whatever job you're in at the moment, you make really good money and you can keep making good money, and you know it's not about the money because you love what you do. Okay, you're just in two minds about whether it's the right job for you at the moment. I really am feeling that it is the right job for you because you're trained at what you do. Sometimes you want to go into the medical field and it's nowhere near you, but I just think that you've got that healing quality in you, and if you're not getting nurtured at work and vice versa, you kind of lose control of that, and you want to feel like you're giving all the time. The next job that you need to go to is somewhere that's a more friendly environment, is what I'm getting to, okay, where you're feeling valued and that they're valuing you as well, okay? Because it's a general, I'm picking up a few different things, and I don't know if you can see the cards online here, but what we've got here is movement in love and relationships as well. Now that doesn't mean you're going to move away from a relationship, it just means that you might move into a different direction and a new phase, and I think that's really exciting. And after talking about today and how that's all the new changes, I think that's really beautiful when I see that for you. So it's full steam ahead for relationships for you, and that's the change, okay? There is weddings around. I don't think it's yours though, but I think there's weddings coming around in the family circuit of what's going on around you, and that's going to be really exciting, and it might bring that extra feeling of love to your heart as well, and what it all means to you, okay? So hang in there with relationships, and just make sure that you're always feeling that connection first with yourself, and know that you're doing the right thing, and you're doing it in both areas if you like. You're doing it in your work and also your relationships and friendships as well. And just before we go on, before I finish off with you, Chris, you are going to get somebody coming back into your life that you've not had a fallout, but you just haven't heard from for such a long time, okay? And that's going to be a real blessing, and they're not a member of your family, but an old friend of the family, okay? And that's really nice. They've got some sad news when you do hear from them again, because you know things do change in that time, and I'm looking probably 28 years ago that you haven't seen this person. It's a long time, but you know, you just hear of them. This isn't just hearing, it's seeing them as well and hearing more. So blessings with that one as well, okay? Now, Makeda, we've got another text for you.
Oh, awesome.
So that was really lovely just doing that. I hope that helps Chris out as well.
Yeah, no, it's always beautiful to hear, you know.
The psychics take over the tarot. Did you notice? It's like, okay, we put the two together, and that's how you work with your numbers.
Exactly.
So we've got Jelena, thank you for our beautiful text tonight, because we are here to help you on your journey. If you want anything really specific, you can be a little bit more specific. We'll just see how we go. Jelena, 22nd of the 2nd, 87. Hi, Celebrity Psychics. Can I have a general reading for the next months from Makeda, please?
Yeah, no problem.
So Makeda's just going to do your numbers for a minute and tune in.
Look, Joanna, I just keep seeing makeup all around me. So I don't know if you work in makeup or you work in some kind of beauty, or if you're looking to get into that, but it definitely feels like career to me. It feels like, you know, I'm rushing around, whether I'm finishing my studies or I'm looking to study that. I'm definitely seeing my head like in books and working things out for myself, and I'm just looking for these opportunities. Like I'm going, okay, it's almost like the clock's ticking, like I'm nearly finished, I'm nearly done, like what am I going to do next? Like what's the next step for me? And Spirit is saying, like, breathe. Like you just need to take a moment to breathe, because it feels like to me all the planning that you're doing, it's all in your head. It's like I've got to do this, I'm ticking boxes and I'm going to remember it, and it's all in my head, but I'm forgetting to listen to my heart. And if you listen to your heart, it's actually pulling you in a different direction to what you think that you need to do as this type of person. You know, like, and our heart always, you know, will lead us in the right direction. Our head, which is conditioned by, you know, society and family and friends and, you know, all that kind of stuff, has a tendency to kind of tell us little white lies of where we should be. And so this is saying, you know, have your plans, that's fine, but don't be surprised within the next 3 months if you're just being pulled in another direction. Spirit is saying, take it, say yes to you, and say yes to your heart, because once you do, opportunities are going to open up which you had no idea were even possible. Like in your mind you're thinking, I can only do this much, I can only do so, I'm only good at this, but your heart has this whole other plan for you that is showing you, and that will prove to be, thank you Spirit, they're saying prove to open up to so much more than you even knew, the gifts that you have. In, you know, certain types of psychology, this is called your golden shadow, and so it's opening up to the gifts that you have put down into that subconscious, which you you thought, oh no, I'm not good at that, but you actually are. And so it's important to say yes in the next 3 months to your heart. The other thing that I want to say, Delena, which is coming in like hugely strong, is that there is a grandmother with you, okay? She is so full on, sorry. She's just kind of taken over your reading, really. And I feel like she is part of this guidance that is happening right now spiritually for you. She's stepped in as to me, it's like an ancestral guide or a past loved one that has stepped in and has said, okay, enough's enough. I didn't follow my heart, like perhaps it feels like it's on your mum's side, so perhaps your mum didn't, but now you can heal all of this by, and heal my, not mistakes, but heal some of my regrets, heal some of your mums, and heal your maternal line by saying yes to your heart. So it's really important at this time. It feels so transitional, and it's almost like I'm at a crossroads. I can do this or I can do that, but it's important that you take a moment to breathe, sink into your heart, the beautiful peace that Annie was talking about, and then decide, if I go down this path, is it going to sustain me? Is it what I really want to do? Actually, when I think about doing it for the rest of my life, how does it make me feel? Or when I think about doing this, wow, my heart opens up. It feels great. I'm getting goosebumps. I love goosebumps. They're so
It's better than the sick feeling.
Yeah.
Listen to that one. Don't go there.
Yeah. And going, yeah, this might be it. And then just take baby steps. It doesn't have to be. The thing that I think people forget about when following their heart is it feels so overwhelming, and if I say yes to this thing, I'm going to have to change my whole world, and then everything's going to fall apart, and what would everybody think? But the reality is, even when you're going into the psychic realm, it's baby steps. It's just saying yes every day to your heart. Will, those little steps will eventually, you'll be at the top of the mountain going, oh crap, I don't even know how I got here, but I did.
So for Jelena, it's about taking challenges, is it?
It is about sitting quietly, listening to your heart, and taking a baby step towards it, and spirit will do the rest. Especially that grandma that's with you, I would 100%, light a candle for her, speak to her before you go to bed, and thank her, because she's ready to bless you right now.
That's beautiful, and that's exactly how it works with our roots, isn't it? It doesn't matter how we have our backgrounds, it still comes through. Even if you don't know your grandma like now, and as a child, they may have passed away before you were born, they're still there for you somehow, and people don't understand 100%. That, but they really are there. There's that connection all the time.
Yeah, and Darren was, and if he was here on the phone again, he'd be talking about shamanic, and it's a very shamanic principle, because our ancestors, who we are, they live in our blood. And so every day you're walking around, and even the times that you feel like you're alone, there's people in spirit are there for you, because they're in your blood.
And we feel it, we connect with it.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't connect with it, we connect with it for you. and that's our job, is to do that as well, okay? And remember, you can get hold of Darren even now as we speak on our he's available. His PIN number was 4855, and you can get him on the 19700 700 is our SMSs. The credit card to get readings with Darren now and any of our psychics that are on our bios is 1300 755 468. And remember, you can talk to a consultant, get in touch with them, talk to them about what kind of reading that you might need, okay? You got to know Darren a little bit tonight, a bit about Makita tonight, and like I said, Darren is available now, so you can call him on that 1300 number, and his PIN is 4855, and you'll get through to him, okay? Beautiful. And what else do you do how else do you work if you were to work with somebody? Like, if you were to do a reading with someone, what's like the best, not the best reading, but something that stays with you in your heart that made a difference to you as a person? Because I know I learn a lot when I'm doing a reading from somebody. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that happens. I learn while I read. I'm always learning as well. Yeah. Do you find that growth?
Look, Annie, spirit are so amazing. And, we talked about the people that they send us, and, the people that come. And I definitely believe that, every person that is sent to me is a lesson for me. And it definitely works as a reflection in terms of, what comes through and the lessons that I learn about myself, but also about the spiritual world and how that works. And so, you know, my favorite reading is definitely people that are going through spiritual emergence. It's the people that perhaps, you know, whether they've been on the path for like a little bit of time or a long time, and then all of a sudden this thing happens out of the blue that they didn't know that they could do.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
It can be scary
yeah,
too.
it can be extremely scary. And you know what, spirit, you know, the way that I work and how my grandmother, like my great grandmother, talks to me and my higher self, and you know, the other spiritual team that I have, and you know, internally how it comes through, there's always an answer. You know, there's always, you know, and it's funny because I kind of think, is there, you know, there are times when, like, I know maybe for yourself or for me, you know, I'll be teaching and I'll be like, okay, well, here's the question. I don't really know the answer to that, but sure enough, if I tune in and I'm in that right place of channel and of meaning and speaking, and it's all coming through, spirit provides the answer.
Yeah, and some people get worried when we talk like this about spirit and blah blah blah. They might go, but you know what? Whatever we call it, it's an energy, and
It's an energy.
I use the word energy,
Yeah.
and that really works for me.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if it helps, if it's true, and we come up with things that only they would know. We don't know, you know, we don't know about, you know, your sister called this or that or whatever comes through. So don't be too afraid if people do talk about things like that. I find with psychics, you know, that's how we talk. You can just use the word energy and say, okay, they connect, they're mediums, and that's where we get some of our stuff through. Wherever it comes from, whatever we call it, if it helps, that's what I find a blessing.
You know, and what you'll find is that there are so many different paradigms, there are so many different ways in, I guess, this kind in the world that people use different terminology to be able to explain what is going on for them. And so, you know, for me, like using spirit, that is directly related to shamanism, because we talk about great spirit.
It's the same wording again.
Yeah,
and
you
is,
know,
and it just comes through, and I do it so naturally they don't know. And my girlfriends go, "Is that Annie talking or psychic Annie talking?" I said, "It's always psychic Annie talking. I'm just very casual about it, you know." And it's just, if it comes through, it helps. And we've got someone that wants to ask about that actually.
Sure.
We've got a reading coming through. Thank you for everyone calling sending our text and taking the advantage of getting Nikita while we've got her here tonight. And like I said, every night, every Thursday night, we'll have a different person, another reader on our lounge with me, enjoying learning about them and how they work, and so do you, which is really beautiful, and that way you can learn to connect. So we've got someone trying to connect with you. They think that you might be able to help them, and this is from Dan, the 17th of the 5th. Any messages from my aunt? Thanks.
Okay, thanks Dan, thanks for your message. Look, as soon as I kind of like, I try to take the numbers and do all that, but it was like your aunt was here already. And so, you know, I'm you know, she's coming from the right side and is standing kind of right here next to me, and the energy that I'm really feeling is this, like this woman who is I want to say cleverly wise, in that, you know, it feels like she's got this kind of way about her that is, you know, it may appear that, you know, she's extroverted and loud and has a good time, but then there's these quiet, cleverly wise moments, you know, where the one-liner that comes through, and it feels like to me she's got, like, I'm feeling like a very like a very joyous attitude about her, and it feels like to me that she's coming through, and the message that she is saying is that, you know, you've been taking things seriously a lot lately. It's almost like, you know, this is like, and it's all aspects of my life, you know, work serious, relationship serious, like this is all, it's serious, but ultimately, you know, there is a very jovial side to you that I feel like you related to her on that level, and that's how you connected, by this joy, by this fun loving nature. And so she's coming in very strongly and saying, don't forget that, and don't give yourself a hard time. You know, I'm flashing back to my long weekend now. And you know, it's, you know, work hard but also be able to like be human and play hard, and not forget about what brings that joy into your life, and not taking that joy for granted, because it is that joy. And like, you know, like, you know, I think this is for you too, by the way.
That's okay. We're all here to help each other.
I'm directing it at you now.
Okay, your aunt's talking to me now, and I will take her advice.
Because, you know, yeah, it's almost like going, yeah, you know what, yep, spiritual, work, you know, blah, blah, blah. But the human in me just needs to have that glass of wine. You You know, the human
Definitely
in me,
talking to me. I like your aunt. I like your
the
aunt.
human in me just needs to have a laugh and not berate myself for it. Not be like, oh, you know, last Sunday I could have been doing this work and, you know, but instead I was having that glass of wine. It's really important to, it's really important to go to kind of to give yourself that, allow yourself to have that fun and allow yourself to be that human and not, you know, blah, 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 everything for everybody else. Because if you don't, and this is coming directly from your aunt, it will sneak up on you anyway. And then you'll find yourself in 3 days of self-sabotage when it could have only been 1 day. So, you know, that's probably a message for everybody to say, yeah, you know, it's okay, this is what brings me joy right now and I'm not going to feel bad about it later.
So Auntie's saying
Have
a break every now and then,
have
recharge.
a break, recharge, do what makes you happy and have that joy in your life.
That is wise. You said she was wise.
I know.
But we all need to hear that. You're right.
Yeah.
I hope that really helps as well. It's like, it's funny how it comes through, and it might not be anything really specific, but I'm sure that would have made sense somewhere to you. It would have rang true. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't forget we've got people like Makita here doing that on the lounge to help you. We've still got Darren. He's available again. We've got readers at home that you can call through on our 1300 number. We've got Nikki. We've got Tom. We've got Alex. We've got Jackie. They're all there ready, waiting for you for your call. So if you do have a question and you do need some little bit of guidance, a little bit of direction, that's what we're here for, okay? And remember, you can read their bios to see if you're resonating. Think about what you might want to ask, where it can help you as well. You can, you know, it just resonates with the right person, doesn't it? At the end of the day.
You know, because I'm speaking to the yarn, and as I'm speaking, I'm feeling like a vibe from you, and that was what made me turn to you and say that, because I'm feeling okay. There might be some truth in this for you as well.
Well, I like it.
You
She
know?
told me to have a glass of wine. There's nothing wrong with that. Spirit can give me one right now. I sometimes joke when I'm doing readings with girlfriends. I just contact Spirit. But you know, we might be laughing, but in all sincerity, when we do our readings, we are really in our truth, and we are really responsible, and we're here to make a difference and in a compassionate. And I notice the empathy that you have with your readings. You're very empathetic. You can feel the energy, and it's really hard for us not to step out of that zone of trying to be here to help you, and still have that empathy and not break down in tears ourselves, because we deal with a lot of really heartache and a lot of hard stuff. As you all know, we all go through really heavy stuff at different times. And you know, and that's when, you know, we can help, and obviously so do counsellors, and all the correct medical facilities is different again, but we can help in different ways, and just help you keep on track, hopefully, and direct you to the right people at the right times as well, which is really important.
And you know, I think it's really important, you know, when looking for a psychic or anyone, you know, it's almost like, you know, doing your inventory, like what kind of help do I need right now, and then tuning in and feeling into that as well really helps.
We've got another text reading coming through from Ben. His birth date is the 22nd, sorry Ben, 22nd of the 7th, 86. He's feeling a little bit burnt out at the moment. And he's just looking at maybe job satisfaction and something like that to help him as well, okay? And should he look at greener pastures, or what should he do with his work and feeling burnt out in general? So yeah, that was his birth date. Ben, Nikita's just doing that for you and tuning in.
Ben, like, I don't even know where to start. There's so much coming in for you. I'm just like,
Keep it
I don't
simple
even.
for him, darling.
I know. I'm like, I can't even, like, I try to finish the numbers. I can't even do it, because Spirit is just coming straight through right now and is saying, okay, go and get an astrology reading, okay? You're going through your Saturn return. For everybody out there who knows a little bit about astrology, would all be doing this right now. Oh my God, Pen, good luck. Saturn is, I don't even do astrology, but I know about Saturn return, and it's a time in our life where basically it's time to grow up, and it's when Saturn returns back into your chart, and it's time for you to do an inventory of your life. What are the things that are serving me right now? What is not? So it's not even rocket science for me to look at your question and go, of course you're going through loss of job satisfaction, because you're probably not on the path of your heart. It feels like to me you are somewhat, so you are doing, thank you Spirit, they're talking about you are doing, and obviously you've gained, they're talking about skills that you've gained, and over the time, and education and everything to kind of be at this place that you are now, but it's only part of your puzzle. It's only part of your puzzle. And so if you continue to only do part of your puzzle, there's a whole other half of that you're not looking at that is not satisfying to you. And so right now, as I said earlier, it's important that you do this inventory of your life, because I do feel that it is time for you to look at greener pastures. And look, it doesn't feel like to me it's going to be this huge, I've got to quit right now and then go study and do that. Like, to me, that's just not what it is for you. It's a slow and steady, I've got all this experience right now and that's fine. But right now, I'm wanting to transition into this other place. And it feels like to me that I'm going, in order to transition, I have to grab this skill here, then I have to look at maybe doing a short course in that, and then moving into that, and then all of a sudden I'm over here in this particular place in my life, and it's not going to be an overnight thing. But thank you Spirit, they want to also talk about, I heard very clearly Indigenous initiation. And so it's important for me from a shamanic perspective to let you know that once you turn 30, whether you're male or female, this is also about adult initiation. And it's a time where traditionally we would go in our tribe or whatever and have some form of, thank you Spirit, and have some form of ritualistic event that would say you now are a man. And so we don't have that in modern day culture anymore. And so, but it still happens energetically. And so that's what's happening for you at the moment, especially coming up into your birthday. It's almost like I want to peel my skin off. It's like you're a snake, going through that transition, wanting to peel your skin off and doing something that says, now I am a man. And so I would definitely at this birthday do something quietly for yourself that says, look, because, the energy will catch up with you anyway. But if you do something personally for yourself, whatever that might be, I always say light a candle because that's easy for people, but sit with it, find out what it is. Is it that you look at yourself and say, I'm going to take a risk on myself and and that is what's going to put me forward into that particular manhood. What is it for you? And if you do something with that intention in mind, things will be smoother, thank you Spirit, for you over this period. But right now, I just tuned back into your job at the moment, and it is I'm feeling somebody breathing over my shoulders and it doesn't feel right. So I would say definitely start looking elsewhere, but also start doing that inventory, Ben, and looking at what you want to do for the rest of your life. What brings you joy? What, when you reach 65, it's I don't want to retire because I love this so much. Look at that. Look at your heart. Look at what you love doing as a kid and then make it work. All right, hope that helps. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Spirit.
And you were right. I noticed that his birthday was coming up, so he's in his power month, and now's the time to do it. Yeah, really, which
100%.
is beautiful. So it sounds like you just helped him, just give him the boot. He already knew, I think.
Yeah,
I think you already knew what to do, which is really beautiful. So remember, you can SMS us and Makeda tonight, while we've still got a little bit of time left, on the 19700 number. You've got your at-home readers on 1300 755 468, and you've got your pay by the phone, which is the other way around. If you don't have a credit card, you're more than welcome. Just use our 1902 number 257821. And sometimes you just might want just a quick answer, and that's what we're here for. All we can do is offer our services and be here for you. Sometimes it's hard, you can't get to us in the shops or where we work, so you can get us online. And sometimes you just don't have time, sometimes you might want a question answered now, or it's best to wait and figure out a time when it's right for you and figure it all out, So thank you all for joining us tonight on our Psychic Lounge for our first night. I think it's a really beautiful way to connect with you, and I really love the technology, how we can just live stream from your phone, your laptop, your computer, your smart TV, from wherever you are.
Yeah, and how quick it is. Send the text, get the reading, live straight away.
And join us on Facebook as well. Now I'm gonna let you do this next week, because I'm pretty sure I know this Miss Caitlin. It's the 6th of the 9th, 95, and she would like a general reading for the next few months, please. And so Makeda, if you could give her a general reading. So 6th of the 9th, 95, and Makeda will do your numbers for you, Caitlin. And thank you all for joining us on Facebook. And remember, you can interact with us at any time. Watch us every night, Thursday night, 9 p.m, where we'll be joining you live to have a chat with some new psychics each time we go. And they're all renowned Australian psychics. And we've got Australian psychics and international psychics always on our phone numbers as well. Makeda's just doing your messages.
Wow, Caitlin,
Caitlin?
I'm just like, all this creative energy is just like streaming in tonight. It's I don't know if it's like, it's also full moon tomorrow, so I don't know if it's full moon or what it is, but Caitlin, all I can feel around you is so much creation. It's just like creative. So if you're not doing something artistic, I would 100% like put you in that direction. And when I say artistic, that is so broad. Don't think that it's just painting. It can be writing, it can be like project managing is creative. So looking at how you can use that energy and funnel it into something that you love, because it's definitely around you. And what I'm hearing from Spirit is that you're not channeling it fully yet. Okay, now I know that may be, thank you Spirit, they're talking about your age. It may be because of your age, lessons that you still have to learn and come more into yourself, and all that kind of stuff, but it's around you. And if you just start, like, it's almost like I just need to creak the door open a little bit, it's going to flood through. So 100% start looking at that for yourself, because it just feels like it's going to be very heart satisfying, and it's also a way that you can actually get through some of the stuff that you're going through at the moment by channeling through a creative outlet. Okay, so let's just look at the next couple of months for you. Thank you Spirit. Wow, I'm seeing very strongly a baby around you, Caitlin, and I'm not too, like, I don't feel like it's, I'm going into your energetic field and I'm not actually certain. I'm not getting a clear yes on an actual baby, like an actual spirit baby. So this, to me, I'm going to go with, thank you Spirit, they're going, no, it's not actual baby. I'm going to go with a new beginning. Okay? And it feels like to me this new beginning, thank you Spirit, is, it's, again, in general, here we go, in all aspects of your life. But it's almost like you're hesitating on that. It's like you're standing on the cliff and you're going, you know what, am I going to take this or not? I don't know if I can. Maybe I've got some obligations to people around me. I'm not too sure if I'm going to take this. And so I have to say that you need to take it, okay? And it's going to look, it's almost like, it's building up that kind of strength and that courage to say yes to it. But once you kind of have that within yourself, thank you Spirit, it's almost like I've got somebody beside me that is actually being that support person with that decision. And so I'm kind of leaning on that support person and I'm waiting and going, but they're going to say yes, and it's all going to flow in really, really nicely for you. Now, I'm also feeling like a kind of study with you, or a direction. It's a firm direction that is, they're not saying studying, it's a firm direction that is leading towards you learning something, okay? And it's almost like, it feels like I'm coming into my own,
Nice.
So it's making that decision to kind of go, yes, I am going to do this, and I am going to come into my own, and I'm going to learn. And so I'm feeling this supportive force behind you, so that that even if I fall, that supportive force is going to be there. And so don't take it for granted, Caitlin, because that force, that person is that unconditional love. You might feel and you might, I don't know, I can't, blah, 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 but they're always going to be there. So definitely, say yes to this opportunity, knowing that supportive person will be there no matter what, saying yes to yourself and saying yes to your spirit. It's spiritual growth, what's going on now.
Lovely.
So yeah, 100%, Caitlin, channel into that creative energy for yourself. Know that you're very much supported in life and in spirit, and say yes to these opportunities that are coming your way. That may be a bit of a change of direction, but it's for the good. All right, thanks, Caitlin.
Well, I hope that helps. It sounds like she's going to be very busy with study and everything.
Yeah.
And we've all got a creative side as well, and like you said, that can come about in so many different ways. How you utilize whatever it is. People think creative straight away, artists. It's not.
No.
It's being creative in whatever you're approaching and whatever you're doing. And it looks like we've only got at least another 10 minutes on our beautiful discussion now. So if you still want to get some texts in, don't forget the 19700 to text us. If you want it to come to TV to now in the last 10 minutes, just don't forget the code word TV, and we'll hopefully get one or two more quick texts in. It's just been really lovely, hasn't it? Okay, just to be here, just to be able to express.
Being on the couch.
Just to be really relaxed with you,
Yeah.
and and you might be sitting at your lounge at home too, and it's just like we're doing a reading with you, which is really, really lovely as well. And putting it all together, so we've got our numbers where you can have your readings live with any psychic 24/7, us on the lounge on a Thursday evening, and I'm looking forward to sharing the surprise readers as we go along. A lot of you might even know, some of our followers already might know some of us from the industry that we're in as well and where we work, and big shout out to everywhere where Makita and I work as well, at Ningrin and Destiny
Wellbeing.
Yes, so hello to everyone there, and hello to everyone in the Blue Buddha stores in WA, and all you readers there which may join us down the track as well. So celebritypsychics.com.au is where you can find us and keep up to date with everything that's going on, and our Facebook page as well, Celebrity Psychics, and you can also find it through my page, maybe Makita's page as well, as it through goes on. But readers are always going to be there 24/7, or just your text as well. Don't forget the 1300 number. You can always book us. We'll let people know in advance. I think I'm going to be available on Wednesday this week, and I think you're going to be available on Wednesday, so when you ring that, you'll see the times up that you can actually book for us, and I think that's beautiful because that allows you time to think about what you might want to hear from a psychic, how they work, what kind of questions then you think we can help you with as well. And then just trusting in spirit that the right psychic comes at the right time.
Exactly.
And the right things happen at the right time.
Exactly.
And we just get really, frustrated. I'm the same. I'm very impatient, and I want to make things happen yesterday, or I want it yesterday all the time. But
definitely.
I've learned to be very patient.
And I think that's the hardest thing, like when you have it, like I'm very visionary, and I've always, and it just comes with, I guess, the with being a clairvoyant, you see the images before they come, and we never know the divine timing of the energy of what needs to be put in place before that actually comes in. So it can be a little bit trying on our faith and our trust.
It can be tricky, but sometimes timing, boom, straight on as well. And you just got to trust that it happens, and it really does. And even reading for ourselves, we do it. We're naughty. But the trouble is, we know, and we're like, really? I have to go through that?
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to, and we have to go through that journey, okay? So, and that's why it's like, be patient, and that's what a reading will do for you at the end of the day. It will give you that patience in knowing, okay, I've got to go through this little bit of a hiccup in life, and it's going to be hard, but having seen us and what we can show you, and it says, well, okay, I know I'm going to get through it, and I know that this is coming, and that there is light at the end of that tunnel as well.
100%.
Okay, so we might have time for one or two more quick texts, guys. So SMS 19 700 700. We might get a few final texts in, but remember, we're always going to be here for you on the phones on our 1300 755 468 24/7. We'll have psychics, and also remember that you can read the bios, so you can actually resonate with us as well. It's the way it goes, and we lean on each other, even so,
all the time.
we read for each other. We don't listen to each other sometimes. That's why we don't listen to spirit. But people also say asking questions, and people say, why would you want to ask a question to a psychic? I'm like, or that gives too much away. Be open when you have a reading. It doesn't give too much away, because I'll tell you now, I will ask questions in a reading. It doesn't mean I'm not getting anything psychically through. I will equally ask questions to spirit and question them. I'm very open and honest with spirit as well. Okay, tell me that it's Uncle Bob coming through and he wears white socks, and it's enough for you to know that he had a yellow house or whatever. But what is the question? This person needs more, and that's what I do, is I try and bring more for them, because they're asking for help, and so I try and get that help. So it is really beautiful to ask questions, and if a psychic does ask a few questions, don't be alarmed. It doesn't mean they're fishing. It just means that sometimes it helps you when you work together, and to give them that confirmation that they're on the right track sometimes too, because it's your life. We don't always know what's going on in your life. We can just say it, what's coming through, and it's up to you to resonate that and go, definitely that's what it is. We usually know it is before you do, but it's just nice to work with the psychic. Sometimes you might have to, other times you don't have to at all, okay? So that's where it's really important to have that beautiful, responsible reader and understand that they've been in the field for a long time, okay?
Do you want to do this one?
Yeah, we've got Adam that's coming through, 21st of the 4th, 90. It says need a reading. I don't understand what that actually means with need a reading. Does that mean he needs a reading, or he would like a reading, or would you like to understand what a reading is, Adam? And this is where I'm going to have to be a little bit psychic and just go on what I'm feeling for you, okay? So 21st of the 4th, 90. I actually think that you are psychic yourself.
Yeah.
And when I say that, you're actually picking up on my energy as well, and you're thinking, okay, I think you could actually use the cards yourself and learn to have that growth as well, okay? Not many people can tell you what to do. You're very strong. I'm going to pull some tarot cards for you and show you what I mean, okay? This is the way I work. It's like I get it through and then I'm going to prove it to you with the cards. And you don't even have to know about the cards, okay? Like I said, no one can tell you what to do. You're very strong. You're very decisive. And there's your thought card there. You're still very young. You will still act before you think. So this is really telling you to stop and listen, okay? You don't trust in people, and you need to trust. Look, you're a beautiful person and you're trusting, so why can't you trust others? Okay, we've been burnt before, and a lot of people may lie. That's human nature. And you've been strong enough to walk away from that. Doesn't mean you can't trust again, okay, love? So your thing is with trust in the workplace, in yourself, in your friends, in your family, and everything that you do. You can trust. Like I said, you could learn the cards yourself, okay? And use the trust in your higher conscious. And sometimes the cards can verify that. And when you're learning, if you want to learn to use an oracle deck or a tarot deck or anything, trust your higher intuition. Test them first, turn the cards over, and you'll be surprised at how accurate they may be for you. So trust is your big thing as well. It's telling you that, like I said, you can trust in yourself. And if you have a look at the cards here, you've got the Knight of Coins, which is telling you a lot of different things, but it will also tell you to stand your ground, okay? So don't sway. If you have your believabilities in everything that you do, then you can trust in others and they can trust in you. So you be that person that you want to be, and then the ones around you will. In other words, stay positive, not negative. Don't hang around the negative aspects of life and negative people, and stay optimistic as you can, okay? So you don't always see the bigger picture, and that's why you're having a reading today, which is what's that saying. And if I pull out that next card here, it's what you're dealing with, okay? You're having a lot of conflict within yourself, within your heart, and within others. Let it all go. Just relax and feel and listen to your intuition, because you are right. And like I said, no one can tell you when you're wrong. So stand your ground, but you don't have to fight to stand your ground, okay? You can just be what I call is in your grace, okay? Just respect it the way it is, okay? We have like to say thank you very much now for joining us on our show, and thank you to everybody that sent in for your beautiful text from Makeda and ourselves, okay? Darren will be available on his PIN number for the next 2 hours only, but we will have psychics all the time, even while we're not here on our lounge, 24/7, okay? The credit card readings, don't forget, we can book that in, so you've got plenty of time. You know where you're at, you know where you stand. It's like going to any reader. We know how much we pay when you go and see a reader. It's the same thing. You know where you stand with that, okay? So 1300 755 468. Speak to a consultant if you need to, or we'll just go straight through to somebody's PIN number, okay? You've got the 102 number, 257821, and a texting as well, okay? We had a beautiful time.
Final text.
We had one more final
one
text.
more.
That's really great. Okay, so we've got one more final text time. I didn't think we had time. That's beautiful.
Yeah, cool.
So I thought they were winding us up on our lounge because I was just getting started. I'm like, I'm enjoying chatting to everybody as
about
well.
to do shout outs.
No, it's just really beautiful tonight. So if you have got one more text to come through, you're quite welcome to send one quick text through for us on the lounge. And where can we find you, Makeda,
Look,
if they want
you
to?
know, just, you know,
Besides
get
on
on
here.
Facebook. I'm, you know, at Desi Wellbeing some Tuesdays, some Saturdays. I'm in Newtown on Thursday. You know, I'm everywhere. Like, you can find me. I'm that easy with a name like Makeda. But yeah, I just wanted to feel like I'll, you know, got a reading coming up, and just before I do that, just wanted to say shout out to my daughter Phoenix. She's amazing, and just, you know, everybody like out there in the psychic and the mediumship field, especially in Australia right now. There's some stuff going on, and I'm just sending some love out there to everybody, and just staying positive, and, you know, just to thank you, Spirit. They're talking about just to keep the faith and feel and be strong in who we are. You know, it's really important. It's really important that this show is happening today.
Yeah.
You know, and we're
Give
just
people
going to get
confidence in their life.
and it's just going to get, like, from strength to strength.
Yeah.
Everybody is. That's the way of the future and the way of where we're going. So
Lucky last reading.
cool.
Beautiful name, Juliet.
Oh, Juliet.
7th of the 5th, 1996.
Juliet.
General reading, please.
Thank you, Spirit. Juliet, I want to say there's a lady in Spirit who's very close to you at the moment, and she's saying hello, and she wants you to know that you're like 100%. She's there with you. She's actually behind you on, behind your back. And so if you're feeling some energy on your neck, you need to know that that's her. And I'm feeling my heart opening, and she's giving you love and sending you love. Okay, and it's almost like. It's not that you forgot about, but it's just like you didn't realize that she was there, and so she's wanting to come in very strongly to confirm, hi, I'm here, yes, it's me, yes, these are the signs, yes, I have been appearing in your dreams, yes, it's me. And so that's coming very strongly for you. In general terms though, I need to say to you that you need to, thank you, Spirit, again, this is about heart connection, and it's about relationship, and there are some things at the moment that is going on in your relationships. I feel like it's one, but it's also feeling like friends as well. And so it's almost like I'm having to kind of look at, what is serving me and what is not, because it feels like that there are some obligational people in your life at the moment who are not giving you the right advice for where you want to go and where you need to be. And so it's almost like you have to take a real step back away from that obligation and, take an objectional point of view to say, look, is that really the advice that I want to hear right now? Is that really about me, or is that about that person's problem? Okay, I don't need to take that. I'm not saying, thank you, Spirit, they're saying it's not that you have to cut anybody out, but it's about taking an objectional point of view and seeing what is the advice that is serving you and what is not. Okay, and that's why I feel like this woman is coming in strongly to kind of give you that strength and that courage to be able to say, you know what, even though I've known you for 15 years, you don't know what's best for me. I know what's best for me, and what you're saying to me is not feeling right for me, and that's why I'm going to take or make this other choice. And it feels like to me you're doing it a lot at the moment in your personal life, because it's deciding on how you're going to live your life and your personal integrity, and that's why I feel like this woman is coming in strongly as well. So I hope that helps, Julia. I hope it's a tough one when we're having to kind of feel into our heart what's right for us, but then still respect that other person and still respect their opinions and still respect, and even though there may be difference, but you know what, like I can tell you, and I reckon Annie can too, that 100% it can be done. That we can still respect and love each other even though we don't agree. And it's amazing to be able to come to that place in relationship with others.
Yeah. Oh, that was a really beautiful night. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week on the lounge. We'll have another guest. Every night, Thursday Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m, celebritypsychics.com.au. You can join us live. Follow us on Facebook, and remember we're here 24/7 as well with our readers.